me and my father, we haven't spoken in a couple of weeks. And I done a video last night where I talked about conspiracy theories, and I feel like I should go ahead and head down this path. I used to be big on that. And now I've just kind of learned, that you don't really need conspiracies when everybody thinks the same. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. My dad haven't spoken, and he's not even paying attention to this stuff anymore. And I realized, that's what my dad's gonna always be. He's gonna always be stuck in this occultism, ISIS, and all this occult bullshit, Egyptian mystery school shit. He's gonna always be in that. And he's gonna always believe in these conspiracy theories that have no facts behind them. Now, are there rich corporations that make moves behind the scenes? Of course. Most media being run by very rich, of course. You got no argument from me, but the path he goes down, he's been wrong on everything he said. Everything. My dad talked about how, it's depopulation against, people, older white people are gonna die, and it's more black people dying. And then I tried to show him the facts. He's like, well, I don't see how. And then he tried to show me something in Miami. I said, I don't live in Miami. Well, you're saying they're lying. No, I didn't. That's not what I said. I'm showing you what the Mecklenburg County Health Department has said. And you're telling me about something going on in Miami. I don't know anything about Miami. I don't know anything about that. What's going on there. And now we know there's different strains. What's in the Northeast and what's in California is not the same disease. That's why I keep telling people, just because you have a vaccine for this virus, it may mutate. There may be there's multiple strains running around. What hit New York was not from China. You understand? First time I seen a CMPD on a bike in a while. It's crazy. Yeah, my dad doesn't get that. That's fine. And I spoke about last night. I spoke about how, for me, COVID has been a defining point in my life. And I want to, kind of go into that, explain what I mean by that. COVID is a defining moment because there's some people in my life I don't speak to anymore. I could die from this. I could get sick and I could die from this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm invincible. And no, I'm not. I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared. Like when I went out in my hallway, coming to the car, I had my mask on. Real talk. I'm not sitting up here telling you I'm not scared. It's a defining moment for me in my life because it's made me realize and think about what's important and what is not. And hanging around people who you got a traffic stop, CMPD got a traffic stop. I never see CMPD on 85, much less making traffic stops on 85. If you see them on 85, it's because they're going somewhere, they're doing something. They're there's a fight in progress, a shooting. They're on 70, we got a traffic stop. I never see that. I see fucking highway patrol out here in the sheriff's department on 485. Yeah, but it's been a defining one because it made me think about what's important and what's not. It's made me stand up, and I'm still standing. I stood up March. It's not May, and I'm still standing, and I'm not. I do think about, how long will this go on? I thought about this too. I wanted to put in a video last night. America has been kind of detached from the rest of the world. When they talk about the worst pandemics and all that, I think about how the world has had pandemics. The world has had crises. America just hasn't. And how when I see these protests and all that, it's about white privilege. It is. Don't forget it. It's about white privilege. It's about the idea that I'm a Caucasian and this whole world was designed for me. Starbucks, everything was, we allowed blacks in there, but it was designed for us. And how being limited makes them go insane. even being limited a little bit. Like, white folks can't just deal with it. As a black man, you're limited all the time. Sometimes you're limited in an implicit way, to where you go in a restaurant and they ignore you, or they'll be like, "Are you shit?" You know, they'll make little comments, and you're like, "Okay, I'm never coming back here." Every black man knows that. Even if he don't care, like Denzel, even if Denzel don't care, Denzel still knows there's places in Arkansas where there's implicit racism, and he can tell you about that. And it's the same thing with this. It's hidden, you know. For me, I just it's just been a real lesson to me about how ugly America really is, how nasty America really is, how, you know, we are not one country, we are not united. You know, how they hide behind the flag, they, you know, but how nasty people really can be. I spoke about Obama and Obama's comments he made on that phone call, where he said that this idea that, you know, what's in it for me. Well, I agree with Obama. Like, that's actually true. That's you know, true. And like I said, I like the fact that they don't talk about Trump as much as he talks about that Trump ideology, because that's what you have to do. You have to look at who follows this, because you've always had nuts. I think there was a congressman that said something like he believed that islands float on the water and stuff. You're always going to have idiots. You're always going to have stupid people who don't understand science and don't care about science. Like, and that's their right. I will fight. That's their right to be stupid. But Trumpism is something different. And I like where Obama put it, even though he's an elite. I like the way he put it, that this idea that I don't have to share with anybody, what's in it for me, blase, blase, blase. Like, I agree with that 100%. And see, that's the part when people talk about wanting to get Obama's wife in and vote for Biden and stuff. That's the part I understand. Yeah, when I see stuff like that, that's the part where I nod my head. I don't agree. Hell no, I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't want Obama elected again. No, that era is over with. Obama had his chance to strike out against capitalism, and what did he do? He built out the banks. I will never forgive him for that. I'm not forgiving anybody for building out the banks. No, hell no. He had the chance to make change. He had Occupy behind him. That would have been the movement people behind him. You know, what did he do instead? He chose not to do that. So I don't want to sit here and give him much credit, but that's when people have this nostalgia about Obama, I understand it, because when he talks like that, it's reasonable and it's true that there is a cult of personality behind Trump. There's that mindset that it's my country, I don't got to share it with nobody. I don't care if a bunch of folks die. I don't care if a million people die. You know, there's no policy behind Trump. There never has been. You know, Trump's idea that coronavirus will just disappear. I mean, all of that. Yeah, all of that stuff. It's real. I got this last night, y'all. Got that last night in the mail. And I got this too. It's my favorite color. Even my holster is carbon fibers. Yeah, I love that. I love that color. I may get another one of those. I probably won't use this for glasses. I'll probably just like hang it up somewhere in the truck when I'm driving or something. I miss California. I'm homesick. I never even lived there. Just miss it. I realize living in the South is bad for your health. I think that's a takeaway for me with coronavirus. I've compared it to climate change and people's ignorance, people's, you know, I don't believe it, it's not real, as well as that mindset, I don't care. I don't care if it's real. So what? I don't care. I just realized living in the South. It's not just ignorance, apathy of science, a political opposition to any kind of reasonable, meaningful change in pollution and all that. I realized like the South is more than that. Like they celebrate anti-intelligence here, to where like living here is bad. I'm pretty sure somebody can show you that living here is bad for your health, because we have things that even conservatives are like, yeah, that we know that's true. We know this is true. And people in the South are like, I don't care about that. I didn't know that. It's a weaponized ignorance here. It really is. It's a weaponized. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to joke. I'm not trying to make fun of Southerners, but it's really like that here. And I realize that now that's I gotta get out of here. It isn't just about not wanting to get old living with a bunch of cavemen, a bunch of knuckle draggers, and a bunch of niggas, and it's not just that. It's also the fact that living here is bad for your health, that as we go into the future, there's some very important decisions that have to be made about organized human life, and the South is they're gonna fuck up. Coronavirus was a psychological exercise. That's right. Coronavirus was a psychological exercise to me, not just physical, because it is physical. Wearing a mask, running around carrying a mask on you, doing it all the time. I got a UVC box to clean off my filters. These wipes. It's exercise, and I've learned a lot of things too, as far as bacteria on your phone and things like that. But it's all psychological, because I'm living around people who don't take this seriously. And I know the next wave is coming. The second and third waves are coming. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. And so it's psychological. This mindset that we're all going to heaven anyway, who cares? This is dangerous. And this is reckless. And it's just that it's made me really think, man. Working out here has really made me think about reality and what kind of world I want to live in. You know what I mean? What kind of world do you want to live in? What reality do you want to live in? And I don't want to live in this reality. I don't. I want better. I spoke about Obama already. I spoke about the South. What else? I mean, I'm still standing. I'm going to be standing to the end of this crisis, and this may go on for a long time. I don't feel like as time goes on, I loosen up. I feel like as time goes on, I'm evolving with the crisis, because this is not a start-finish exercise. This is something that's going to taper off. We have to be able to taper off, be able to jump back up. I bought my 503 over a month ago, and the Chinaman said that it was out of stock, it ran out. I think they just started shipping it sometime middle last month. Still ain't got it. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Obviously now it's too hot to wear it. 503 it's a 3M knockoff that's got a full face. It's not a gas mask. Gas mask with little holes on it. No, this thing is, you can see it. It's full face. You can see it. I got it. I got badges. I got stuff to clean it with, but I just can't use it because I don't have my 503. So hopefully it'll be here in time for the second wave. I just think that we've got to be flexible with this crisis. We've got to be smart. We've got to pay attention. This is one of the defining moments of our lives. I think for a lot of people, there's this mindset of just wanting to go home and play video games and detach from reality. There's a movie I want to watch. It's called Ready Player One. And I feel like that's what sheeple want. Is that's the way to avoid violence and wars. They think it's just everybody just pay attention to just mindless, brainless shit, and not want for a socialist revolution, not want for a way to fix society. I think Ready Player One is about the world's all fucked up, and people are all living in VR. I don't want that. like that. I'm not. That's not good. And I haven't watched it, and I may watch it. I didn't want to see it in the beginning because I was like, what the fuck is this? But that's really what I think a lot of people just want, is just tune out. I think people are threatened by what I talk about because of that. Does that make sense? They're threatened by it. They want to tune out. They don't want to know. They don't want to be aware. They don't want to pay attention to reality. They just want to tune out to reality. I think that's a bad thing. That's a really, really bad decision to make on world issues. And there's a thing in what I just said, about the people going to the restaurants and stuff like that. I think people are threatened by me being armed. I think people are threatened by the things I do. Not because I'm hurting anybody, or I just think it's just that's the thing they have when it comes to coronavirus, when it comes to climate change, when it comes to all these issues. I think they just want to go to sleep, in essence, and that's their solution. I don't agree with that at all. I think that if these crackers want to get violent, we got to be prepared to give it back to them 10 times. Not advocating violence by any means. I'm not advocating disrespect. I'm not advocating any kind of civil unrest. But we got to be prepared to do what we have to do to protect ourselves. Peace.